is Nihar sir. You will study in this class strength of material, that is your third semester syllabus. I have been assigned to teach you strength of material, that is theory 2. There are 9 chapters in this subject. Books recommend for strength of materials are, first one is your strength of material by R.K. and the second one strength of material by R.S. Both these books are S1 publication. So the subject strength of material, as it sounds, the strength of material. So in this subject we will decide how much a material strength has, how much a material has strength. So before going to the different chapter, first we will know from where this strength of material comes. So in your first year you have already studied the term, the subject mechanics. All of you studied the subject mechanics. The mechanics is divided into 2 parts. That is your first one, mechanics of solid. This is called strength of material. Mechanics of solid is called strength of material. And the second one is mechanics of fluid. Mechanics of fluid. Again, this mechanics of solid is divided into 2 parts. The first one is mechanics of a rigid body, and the second one is mechanics of deformable bodies. Mechanics of deformable bodies. So the strength of material comes from mechanics. So in your first year you have studied about mechanics. Here strength of material we have discussed about the material strength only. So first write some definitions. First write heading mechanics. What is mechanics? Mechanics, it is the branch of physics which deals with the study of forces and their effects on a body when it is in motion or in rest. So mechanics is, it is the branch of physics. It is the branch of physics which deals with the study of forces and their effects on a body. Forces and their effects on a body when it is at rest or in motion. When the body is at rest or in motion. Mechanics, then mechanics divided into 2 parts. There is mechanics of solid, then comes to mechanics of solid. What is mechanics of solid? It is the branch of mechanics. Mechanics of solid is the branch of mechanics which deals with the study of forces and their effects on a solid particles. That is, it is the branch of mechanics which deals with of forces and their effects on a solid particles. As the name refers, mechanics of solid. So when the force and effects on a solid particle. In this chapter we will discuss only the solid particles and the force applied on the solid particles. After the application of force on the solid particles, what are the effects? In this chapter we will discuss that. Next, mechanics of fluid. What is mechanics of fluid? It deals with the study of forces and its effects when it is applied on a fluid. It is also the branch of mechanics which deals with the study of forces and their effects on fluid. What does the fluid meaning? Fluid means it may be a gas or a liquid. The material which can flow is known as fluid. It may be the gas or you can say liquid. This is mechanics of solid, mechanics of fluid. Next your mechanics of rigid body and mechanics of deformable bodies. Mechanics of rigid body. Mechanics of rigid body. What is mechanics of rigid body? So before going to this, we have to know what is rigid body. Rigid body, the name signifies that it is the rigid one, not the flexible one. Rigid, that means a body which does not change its shape, size, length, breadth, thickness, volume, etc. under the application of any amount of external forces is known as rigid body. So what is a rigid body? A body which does not change its shape, size, length, breadth, thickness, volume, etc. does not change its shape, size, volume, etc. under the action of any amount of external forces, are known as, so that means are known as rigid body. So what do you mean by rigid body? A rigid body, a body which does not change its shape and size after the application of or under the action of any amount of external force is known as rigid body. So mechanics of rigid body, to study about the behavior of rigid body under the action of external forces are called mechanics of rigid body. This is mechanics of rigid body. Next, mechanics of deformable body. Mechanics of deformable body. If in the solid particle, if someone is rigid, then another one is deformable. Then what is a deformable body? A body which change its shape and size under the action of force is known as deformable body. A body which changes its shape and size under the action of force is known as deformable body. And to study about the behavior of deformable body after the application of external force is known as mechanics of deformable body. So first write down what is deformable body. A body which undergoes deformation, a body which undergoes deformation under the action of external forces are called deformable body. Then what is mechanics of deformable body? To study about SEM. First part, to study about the behavior of deformable bodies under the action of external forces are known as mechanics of deformable body. So here in this strength of material subject we will study about the rigid body and application of forces on rigid body, about the deformable body and force applied on the deformable body. After application of force, what are the effects this deformable body and rigid body will have, we will see. So this is all about the introduction of strength of material. So today we will start your first chapter, chapter 1, that is simple stress and strain. Chapter 1, simple stress and strain. So write down the definition of strength of material. Strength has been observed that when force acts on a body, the body undergoes deformation. First the body undergoes deformation and then failure takes place. So what is first it will deform and then failure takes place. So what is actually the strength of material? So a detailed study of forces and their effects along with the ability to resist its failure, and the behavior of body under the application of external forces. Behavior of body under the application of external forces on this total we will study in this strength of material. The force and its effects. What force? The effects come along with the ability to resist its failure. As we know that when force applied on a body, it will first deform and then failure takes place. So before going to the failure, it will resist this deformation. The body resists its deformation, then it will deform. So in this chapter, we will study what are the forces, what are the resisting forces, and what are the failures. So as we will discuss about force and their effects. So first, write what is force. This term in this whole chapter we will acquainted with this term always. So what is force? Force is an external agent which produce or tends to produce, destroy or tends to destroy the motion of a body. So right, force. It is an external agent which produce or tends to produce, destroy or tends to destroy the motion of a, this is called force. That means it is an external agent which produces the motion or destroy the motion, which tends to produce the motion or tends to destroy the motion. This is called force. Then what is load? What is load? Load may be defined as the combined effect of all external forces on a body. If a body is subjected to one or more forces, then the combined effect of all forces is what we can say load. So load may be defined as the combined effect of all external forces acts on a is the combination of all external forces acts on a body. So now after load we have to know what are the types of load. Then types of load. There are mainly 4 types of load. First one is your tension load, then compression load, third one is your torsion load, fourth one is your bending load. So load can be classified as follows. How many types? 4 types. The first one is tension load. Second one is compression load. Third one is torsion load. And fourth one is your bending load. What is tension, compression, torsion and bending load? Tension load. Tension acts as stretching a body. When a body is stretched, that means its length will increase, stretch. Then we can say tension load. So first one is your tension load. See this figure. This is a body when two forces acts in opposite direction. This one is for this one is for. When two forces acts opposite direction and away from the body, from body towards outside, away from the body, then body subjected to stretch up. This load is called tension load. So what is tension load? Tension load acts to stretch the body after tension load acts to stretch the body and acts away from the body, from body to outside, and acts away from the body. Tension load acts away from the body. Next, number 2, compression load. Number 2, compression load. See here, there is a body and two forces acts towards the body. That is called compression. It will compress. So what is compression load? When load acts towards the body, when load acts towards the body is known as compression load. When the two forces, one forces acts towards the body, then you can say compression load. Then what happens due to this compression load? Due to this compression load, the shape of an object reduces but the density will increase due to compression load. The shape of body reduces but density increases. Density increases. Next, third one is your torsion load. Third one is torsion load. What is torsion load? Torsion means twisting load. This is the body. One force is here, one force is here. Then the body will twist. So torsion acts to twisting a body about an axis by the application of torque. So torsion load acts as twisting an object about an axis due to application of torque. That is called torsion load. Next one is your next and last one is your bending load. Fourth one is bending load. What is bending? See, this is your body. When you force X, it will deform to in this shape. That means bending refers the changing the components from its straight form to curved or angular form. So bending load acts to change the component from its straight form into curved or angular form. So bending acts to change the components from its straight form to angular or curved form. This is all about types of load. Now, after the load, we will discuss what is stress. We will discuss what is stress. What is stress? We will discuss about force, we will discuss about load, then what is stress? That means due to the elastic nature of every material is elastic nature. That means it will, after the application of force, it will deform. Application of force, it will deform, and due to the deformation, its molecules set up and resistance to that of deformation. So the internal resistance offered by a body, per unit area to that deformation is known as stress. The symbol of stress is sigma. Symbol of stress is sigma. So what is due to the elastic nature of every material, due to the elastic nature of every material, when a system of external forces acts on a body, the body undergoes deformation. Body undergoes deformation as the body undergoes deformation, its molecules set off resistance to that deformation. The molecule set of resistance to that of deformation. So now the definition of stress comes. The internal resistance induced or developed in the material of the body. The internal resistance induced in the material of the body for unit area to deformation is known as stress. So the internal resistance induced or developed in the material of the body for unit area to the deformation is known as stress. Mathematically, stress is defined as force per unit area. Mathematically, stress is defined as force per unit area. That is, stress equal to V by A, where sigma equal to stress, P equal to force or load applied on a body, A is equal to cross sectional area of body. So stress equal to force per area. Then units SI units Newton or meter square. Force unit is Newton, area unit is meter square. Newton per meter square, or you can say Pascal. Newton or millimeter square. Right, and not point. Generally, what is the difference between force and stress? Force is applied on a body, whereas stress is induced or developed inside a body. What is force? Applied on a body, whereas stress induced or developed inside a body. So this is stress that is induced inside or developed inside a body after the application of force. When force applied on a body, the internal resistance oppose this deformation. This is called stress, which will be